What's up YouTube, it's Tim here, and I wanted to use today's video to talk a little bit about the Mac Pro. So as most of you already know, Apple recently released the 2019 Mac Pro, and there's been a lot of talk that I've seen in forums and seen in YouTube videos and even overheard in person about the pricing of the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR and the Pro Display XDR stand, and how overpriced and you know how ridiculous it all is, and how no one can afford it. And while yes, I do agree that the pricing for all those, you know, is inflated, or you know, while yes they are overpriced, they're actually not as overpriced as everyone is making it sound. And the pricing of those products is actually not that bad. I can't necessarily 100% defend the Pro Display XDR stand. I will say that I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that it's a $999 standalone product. I will go on the record there. I think that if Apple wanted it to be priced at $999, they should have included it with the Pro Display XDR and then just made an option where you could opt out of the stand and, you know, save $1,000 on the price of the Pro Display XDR. So that's that, and I'm actually gonna try to not rant about that because I definitely could, but it's not what I want to do with today's video. The bottom line is the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR are really, you know, incredible raw machines. Are not marketed towards your, you know, normal computer user base or normal Mac user base. They're marketed towards a extremely fine segment of the overall ecosystem. We're talking about, you know, big name, you know, record labels and, you know, television studios and movie studios. A great example of the power that the Mac Pro has is a recent video that Jonathan Morrison uploaded, and if you haven't seen it, I will put a link to the video in the description below. But for those of you that haven't seen it, to kind of spoil things, he had two big name music producers that have worked with everyday artists that we've all heard of and have, you know, won multiple awards. Work with indie pop artist Wolf on a new song that she recently released, and in that video, one of the producers states that with a brand new MacBook, you know, that's, you know, a spec'd out version, they would in a Logic Pro session, they would see multiple stall outs or freezes, you know, multiple times per hour. And in the video that Jonathan uploaded, it took them 2 hours to create the song in Logic, and in that 2 hours there was no stall outs. They only were able to get one core of the 28 core CPU over 50% usage. All of the other cores remained at either 30% or less, which is just incredible when you think, you know, that's, you know, essentially an apples to apples comparison, the, you know, Mac Pro to a spec'd out MacBook Pro, and that you're seeing that much of a performance gain. You know, I think a lot of the Mac user base has kind of gotten a little spoiled with the MacBook Pro, and that not necessarily being, you know, while being a pro level laptop, it's not necessarily a pro level computer, in the fact that, you know, things can go a lot further as far as compute power, but, you know, unfortunately with a laptop you're just limited because of, essentially because of form factor and thermals. So with this, big, heavy desktop, tower machine that the Mac Pro is, you're able to kind of throw thermals and throw form factor out the window and just focus on pure power. And that's what that's what the team at Apple definitely appears to have done. And it's a truly incredible machine as far as the compute power that computer has. And there's, as I said, there's been some users or some people that have said, why is the Mac Pro so highly priced? It's not something that the everyday Mac user can afford, and it's not something that you're supposed to be able to afford as an everyday Mac user. I can't afford it. I'm probably never going to ever have a Mac Pro. If I do, it's going to be one that's going to be used, that I'll get years down the road. But for those of you that do want a cheaper alternative to a Mac Pro, or I would be satisfied with the specs of a base level Mac Pro, but don't necessarily want to pay that price tag and want to try to maybe save, $1,000 to $2,000 or so, you can look at the Mac Mini. If you pair that with an eGPU and you get a well-spec'd out Mac Mini, you're looking at comparable performance between that model and a base to low, base to mid to low range Mac Pro. So for those of you that are looking for that cheaper alternative, there it is. As far as a cheaper alternative to the Pro Display XDR, unfortunately there is not anything from Apple that is a cheaper alternative. It's definitely something that's on my wish list, and it's something that I'm asking of Apple. If anyone does watch this video from Apple, or watch some of the other videos, because I've definitely seen some other videos that share the same sentiment as what I'm sharing here. We definitely appreciate a kind of consumer version Apple display, a modern Apple display that's priced for your normal Mac user market, and not towards the super user high-end professionals that need the power and performance that the Pro Display XDR has. The Thunderbolt display was a excellent monitor that Apple offered, and unfortunately they decided to not continue with that. But I would really love to see them bring that back to life, or you don't necessarily have to name it Thunderbolt display. You can name it Apple display, and then you'll have the Apple Pro display, or whatever. But that would definitely be an ask of me and of the Mac user base. We'd love to see a nice looking display from Apple, with thin bezels and all that, and we're sure that you can do it. It's just a matter of doing it, and hopefully you do. But to wrap up today's video, the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR are simply phenomenal machines, and they are not marketed towards the everyday Mac user. If you're looking for something for the everyday Mac user, as I had said, look towards the Mac Mini, or really anything else in Apple's lineup. As far as a display, currently there is nothing, unfortunately, from Apple, but there are other really great 4K and 5K displays on the market that are available for that are definitely affordable. But to wrap things up, as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, And until next time, see ya.